think there are multiple challenges related to audits of less complex entities. There are a couple of factors that they kind of lead into. Some of that is being put up through the latest consultation from IAASB. The standards are evolving to becoming more and more complex. That comes partially from the length, complexity, and the language of the standard. But it's also some of the complexity of the issues that are being brought in. Some of the latest standards being published being ISO 540 on estimates, complex issues that are being brought in, but then also some of the requirements trickles down to not only affect the ones that have the most complex areas, but also audits on less complex areas. Currently, some of the standards have what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do it, and why you're supposed to do it. So it becomes more like a mix of a standard methodology and some guidance and learning material. So it's trying to do too much, and I think that the message that people are trying to get across is that by doing too much, you're also overcomplicating and make it more difficult. And the regulatory requirements and inspection regimes are becoming more strict and asking for more documentation in the line of the requirements that are being put out. But there's a lot of documentation requirements that doesn't really add any value to the audit. So it becomes more like a checklist approach, and then also eventually could drive the audit to have, with it being less professional judgment, and at the end potentially could also impact the audit quality. In Europe, we're in the core we have the core of the issues, but we may also be in where some of the solutions may lie. If you look at in Europe and what's recently been done in a lot of jurisdictions, there are separate standards and different ways of handling the issues of how to audit less complex entities. That could be taken as an opportunity to learn and could potentially be being built on for the IAASB work. So we also had the Coquito paper from Accountants Europe, and the event that was a year ago that sparked on the discussion in the IAASB level as well. And I think it's a really shows that initiatives by Accountants Europe can make a difference. Accountants Europe, I think, has a role to play in this consultation. This is really the time for people to act